The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the podcast platform, its affiliates, or even the hosts. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, financial, or professional advice. The host and guests are not liable for any errors of omission in the content, nor for any losses, injuries, or damages arising from the use of the information provided. Listeners are encouraged to seek professional advice relevant to their specific circumstances.
Hello and welcome to Tea and Herbalism with Lady D, and I'm Lady D. Thank you for joining me today. We will be talking about mullein. So this is the dried mullein that I have. It's mullein leaf. The Latin name is Verbascum faspus, and it is in the Scrophulariaceae family. Yes, I laughed at myself because that's a long word. It's weird. So, figwort or snapdragon family. The common name is flannel plant and velvet plant, and that is because it's soft and fluffy. So I'll show you a piece. Mullein is soft and fluffy, and if you were camping and you saw a mullein plant and you used the restroom in the woods, a lot of people use it as toilet paper. So you can take a mullein leaf and take care of your business. But you have to be careful because the underside has little hairs on it. So just use the top fluffy side. That's just a little note for our campers out there. So we're going to light the tea light. This tea light wants extra attention. Okay. Success. So I think I'm going to use 2 to 4 teaspoons of mullein for the tea. I'm not sure, but you all know about my tea bloom teaspoon. Perfectly measures out a teaspoon or heaping teaspoon, whatever you like. So that's 1. I'll put it in here. It doesn't have to be perfect. 2. You can see how nice and fluffy it is. Let's do 3. I'm going to do 3 heaping teaspoons of mullein. So I want to share that I was ill a couple of weeks ago. I was congested, with trouble breathing, and I was like, what can I use to help get rid of this? I was taking over-the-counter stuff, and it wasn't making me feel any better, just tired and loopy. So I made up a tea with mullein, and it helped. Mullein is also an expectorant, and we'll talk about that later. But it was able to help pull that mucus out, and I'll share the recipe of that tea. I used 4 teaspoons of mullein, 4 teaspoons of rose petals, because rose is also good for pain, inflammation, and calming emotional distress. I used some rosemary, so just like a few pinches, and then 2 teaspoons of peppermint. And I drank that for about 2 days, and it helped me so much. It was much better than just taking over-the-counter, which I did take the over-the-counter. So here is the mullein once again. I'm going to go and get the hot water and pour it in. Be right back. Okay. I like to show you when I pour it. So again, we're going to eyeball it. About 8 ounces of water. Fill out a cup. And look at that. It's already a nice green color. I want you to see that, how that acts. How the water goes ahead and gets that beautiful tea out. And we'll put that lid on. Keep the herbal goodness inside. We love that. So as you can imagine, that was extremely hot. But here, I just want to go ahead and show it to you again while we wait. Before I talk more about mullein. Well, look at that. How green that is. It's a beautiful color. Extracting all the herbal goodness from the mullein. Mullein is an anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, antispasmodic, so it helps with spasms. It is astringent, a demulcent, and a diuretic, which just pulls fluid off of the body, causes you to pee. An emollient and expectorant, and that's why I used it as a tea while I was sick. I needed an expectorant. And it also is good for pain. And so the leaves and the flowers are edible, and most people prefer it as tea. So you can also burn and inhale the mullein. So it's used for respiratory issues. I'm sure you saw on the screen, this has not been approved by the FDA. So just take note of that. So it's used for bronchitis, tuberculosis, and asthma. It reduces mucus, and it acts as an expectorant. And I can tell you that it does do that. It relieves coughing, spasms, and wheezing, which I had those symptoms, coughing, wheezing. It's good for asthmatics, and mullein can be inhaled. So like I was saying, you can burn it. You can roll it into rolling paper. You can smoke the leaves, or you can just burn it, maybe like if you have an incense container, burn it and inhale the smoke. So it can be used as a poultice. So I've shared with you before, a poultice, you would chew the mullein and then place it on that part of the skin or wherever on the body you need healed. So it heals wounds as a poultice, such as ulcers, tumors, and hemorrhoids. And some people do chew up or even use a mortar and pestle with fluid and put it where people have hemorrhoids at. So you can also make mullein infused oil and I usually use olive oil, and you can use that oil for hemorrhoids too. So you can take the oil after you infuse the mullein and olive oil or whatever oil you choose for 30 days, and you strain the mullein off. And you could take a cotton ball or tissue, whatever you like to use, and place it on your hemorrhoids. So poultice again is drawing, and it may help draw snake bite toxins and splinters. So just be careful if you do get bit by a snake, you use mullein. Make sure you follow up with the doctor or maybe an emergency room. So I just talked about the infused oil. You can drop it in your ears, like with ear drops. It says to treat both ears are best, but make sure you don't have a hole in your eardrum because you wouldn't want that oil to go through into your ears. Okay, further down. And the flowers are a bactericide. So we'll put up a picture of mullein, and at the very top is where those yellow flowers will be growing. It's quite a beautiful plant. And again, don't use the eardrops if your eardrums are punctured. And you can use a mullein infusion for cramping. So drink the tea if you have cramps, like period cramps or any other type of cramping. The oil is good for spasms, so you can take that oil and rub it wherever you're having a spasm at, and it should help stop that spasm. And then if you have GI issues, because I found the tea to be quite helpful while I was ill. You know, a lot goes on when you're not feeling good. With the GI issue, if you use the root, it can help get rid of intestinal worms and other GI issues. but the plant can help get rid of GI issues and soothe that GI tract as well. So if you did have access to mullein plants, which I saw one I wanted to acquire, but I don't know how legal that would have been because of where it's at. But anyhow, I don't have a mullein plant. But if you had access and you had a mullein plant, harvest it during the second year. So don't harvest it through the first year. I'm still laughing at myself because of where that plant was at. And I still think about like, I want that plant. But anyhow, New Love by Denise, where everything is handmade in small batches. You can reach me at my Etsy website or at my email address and place your order. I'm also known as Lady B. Thank you. So after the second year, the stalk will be present and the flowers will be in bloom. Then you can gather it between June and July. July and September. And the flowers can be used fresh or dried. But again, you don't want to harvest the plant the first year. You want to wait till that second year to harvest off that plant. Yes, I am still laughing about me making a plot to steal a plant from a place I probably would get in trouble from doing it. So between us, I'm not going to steal that plant. Okay, I probably would already had it. But anywho, I want to give a warning. Don't use mullein if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. You want to check with your doctor, but don't use it if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. Oh, I can't talk right now. It may cause skin irritations and stomach pain or difficulty breathing. Those are signs of an allergic reaction. So discontinue use if those symptoms occur. You may want to see a medical professional if that happens to you. But otherwise, mullein, it worked for me. And it is something I have. You can see here at home. It is nice and fluffy. It's just like amazing to see how fluffy this nice this is. And I would say that the tea is ready. So before we talk about the tea, or share the tea actually, I want to show you this tea set. It's beautiful. It's my Harmony House. And this is the Sheraton. I am selling them on my eBay page. But this is from 1959. And it was discontinued in the 1960s. So they no longer make these. But if you like this teacup and saucer, you can purchase it from my eBay shop. I can post that for you. And this is the beautiful teapot, which is not for sale, but the teacups and saucers and other plates are. But isn't that beautiful? All the silver going through. And it's from 1959. Isn't that amazing? From 1959. So it's vintage. So I'm trying to decide if I want to use honey or sugar. I think I'll use the rose honey. I haven't used it in a little bit. So I'm going to, as usual, push the rose petals to the side because I want to get to that honey. And I'll more than likely have some rose petals in the tea, which does not bother me. I like that. Look at how thick that is. It does not want to come off the spoon. And I've shared before, I just keep refilling this. When the honey gets low, I just pour more honey in, and then the petals rise to the top, meaning it infuses itself into the honey. And that's fabulous. It tastes so good. So, what we're going to do, we're going to pour it from the other teapot into this one. And it does have, I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, a little bit. These strainer marks. So if you were to put loose leaf tea in here, I wouldn't. But if you wanted, you could put loose leaf tea in there, and then it'll strain it away. Or maybe you had strained tea, and maybe it was a little bit of plant matter in there. You want to pour it in, and it'll just strain the rest off. Whatever you like to do. But personally, I wouldn't put loose leaf tea in this vintage teapot from 1959. That's just me. So, let's see. You hear that? Mostly it was a little ASMR at the end. Not so much going through. You can see it's still trying to strain the fluid off the tea. It's a beautiful color. So, let's pour it and taste it. Again, this is Mullein, if you're just joining. Mullein tea. It's good for the lungs, opens up the lungs. It's an expectorant, pulls the mucus off the lungs. It helps with pain. If you had intestinal parasites, you could brew the, I'm thinking you can see me. You can brew the roots. So you could take the roots and boil them. And it'll help with the intestinal parasites. But I have a feeling that using the leaves could help you with parasites also, as it's still a part of the plant. I'm being summoned by my dog. I'm just trying to stir the honey in, because you saw how thick it was. I'm just trying to get that honey to disperse throughout the tea. Okay. Show you if I can. Let me see. I can. There we go. Isn't that beautiful color? It's extremely hot. So it started out more green, and now it's like a brownish color. It's probably from the tannins. I'm just pulling the rose petals off. Alright, let's try it. It's so good. You probably say I say that about all of it, but it is. It's so good. It's warming. It's calming. And I do want to share it with a friend. So if you want to know about a particular herb, just put it in the comments. Again, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. You can donate to the network. And if you've donated, I want to say thank you. I do appreciate you. And I have seen and received your donations, and we'll put them to good use. Maybe you could buy more teapots or teacups. You may have a problem. That's okay. But anyway, if you want to donate to the network, please, on PayPal, donate to Our Gains II. When you donate there, all of the funds go back into the network in some way, shape, or form. If you want to donate to myself, my Cash App is thallus naturalista D. And, I already shared I'll buy more herbs. Like I bought more peppermint because I had just a smidge. Got a new bag of peppermint today. Or I'll buy some more teacups. Maybe actually you can also support my eBay shop. I will put the link down below so you can go and take a look. And take a look at this vintage wear that's there. Like I said, if you want to know about any herbs, just let me know. I have received messages from people, and we have done shows like on Rose, and I believe I had another request, and I did a show on these chamomile or something. And yeah, I enjoy being able to share the information that I know with you all, and I appreciate you stopping by to partake. So, we'll see you next time. Oh, you can also email me at lunarlovebydenise@gmail.com.